One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1139, Mountain Eater. We open with this cover page story. We're continuing the story of Yamato's Golden Harvest surrogate pilgrimage. Where last we left off, Yamato and the gang have been investigating these disappearances and have tracked it down to Who's hideout, where he, after the battle in Onigashima, has been hiding out with what seems to be gifters of their own. So there's these are smile fruit, devil fruit users that are behind him. And there are two people being dropped before him. They say that they've captured a rebellious duo. I'm pretty certain that this is supposed to be Page One and Ulti, which is crazy that Ulti even survived, because she was she had a hole blasted in her through Nami with the climb attack.
But ancient zones
are with the big forehead.
Yeah, she's what was the name of the dinosaur? The Paleosaurus or something like that.
Sounds right.
Yeah, something like that. The Paleosaurus.
And like Brian was saying, they are hella fucking resilient.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I guess it makes sense.
And Page One survived getting punched in the neck so hard that it went like a 70-degree angle. I remember we measured it on the podcast. We put an angle detector to the way that his neck bent when Big Mom punched it. And I believe it was 70 degrees. So good for him for surviving that. But that's it for the cover page story. We are moving onward into the chapter itself, as we open with Rodo, Luffy, Zoro, and Nami investigating the castle a little deeper, the castle that they're in, where they're looking for the keys to Loki's chains. And as they travel deeper, they find the landing pad that the Holy Knights have left behind when they teleport here, the pentagram thing. So they're like, what is that, Mark? They're just examining. They don't really know what to do. Rodo explains that it's the thing they use when they summon, it's the thing they use in ritual demon summoning in some country or other. So, I wonder what country that will be. So,
Malaysia.
Yeah. And Luffy's like, I think I've seen this, though. This exact circle. You have, bud. You saw it just recently. So, that happens. And then they get interrupted by someone saying, Straw Hat Luffy. And this voice from wherever it's coming from is saying, I've been hoping to meet you. Everybody thinks they're ghosts, but then a giant axe comes in and nearly misses Rodo. And we see the person who threw it is none other than a man called Mr. Ya. And this is the man who we've seen gallivanting around Elbaf, but also on a previous cover page story where this person seems to have been having a drink with old Crocus. I wonder who this guy is.
Yeah, me too.
I wonder if it's Golden Lion Shiki.
No, it do be looking like him a little bit. Yeah, I feel like we still haven't seen his feet yet, so
yeah.
we don't know.
No, we don't. Well, his legs are currently right there in front of us as he's.
Yeah, no, but we got to see his feet to see for sure. That's how.
Fair enough. So yeah, he's yelling. He's like, I've felt some very abnormal hockey coming from the castle earlier, but it seems to have left, and now I find you here instead. He says, I've heard some stories about you, including that you've taken care of Kaido. Boy, I'd love to go traveling around Wano again. He seems to be a big fan of Wano. He has the straw hats from there. But this guy's been to Wano. Can you believe that?
Yeah, that's odd.
That's crazy, huh?
Yeah, why would he go there?
So Luffy's like, Surya?
He's just a random guy.
He's just some dude. He's Golden Lion Shiki. He's never been to Elbaf.
Maybe he has.
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. What do I know? So yeah, Roto explains that this guy goes by Mr. Ya in Elbaf, and he explains that this is Ripley's husband. What? That
Nothing.
Hey.
No, chill. Tighten up. Gotta tighten up.
So, yeah. So this is the father of Colin, the husband of Ripley, the human that has been roaming around and has been depressed that he ages while his wife is gonna stay young forever. And they explained that Colin is actually 20 years old, so technically he's Luffy's age, just like a year younger. And Ripley is 80 at this point. So
damn,
that's pretty young in terms of giants. They live to like Dory and Broggy are like 100, like several centuries old, I believe. And Mr. Ya says that, let me tell you something, marrying a giant's not worth it. I get older, they stay the same age. And Nami's like, I guess that's true. I mean, you could grow old and die, basically. He's like, I'm just surprised someone's actually done it, has like married a giant. And Mr. Ya jumps down and is like, love is free. There are many mixed blood races throughout history. The Buccaneers, the Dosundata, the Long Arms, the Longlegs, and the Wotans. These blended peoples don't tend to last very long in every era, but there have always been people who are more open-minded.
Do we remember the Wotans or the Dosundata?
We've not met either
Have
of
you ever
these.
seen them?
That's brand new.
Yeah, no, we've not met either of them, to my memory.
What if
we have.
I told you
who
I was from the Dosun?
The Dosundata?
We've met a Wotan before.
Who are the Wotans? The Wotan clan?
No, they're
Name of the podcast.
So the Wotan that we first met. Oh, the only
I
Wotan
capped
we've
so
met.
hard it almost crashed us.
I'm sorry, Brian.
He's
sorry.
He's one of the guys from the Foxy Pirates. Big Pan.
Really?
Yeah, he's a Wotan.
Wow.
What does he do? What's his thing?
He's really fucking big.
What's distinct about these
He's
people?
a big guy.
So Wotan is a fishman giant hybrid.
Huh. Oh, wow. Yeah. Damn. Huh. That's interesting. So, anyway, Zoro's like, you seem to know a lot. Who are you anyway? And Mr. Ya is like, I'm a preacher of love. And Luffy laughs because he sounds just like Sanji. And
yeah, he do.
it's kind of funny. This kind of pose, I feel like Jiraiya has done a very similar pose like this thing when he got first introduced. So maybe Jiraiya vibes coming on. So Luffy tells him about like that he's gonna search for some cuffs, and Roto's just look, don't just tell him about it. And of course Luffy is like, oh, forget I said that. And Mr. Ya is like, Loki, eh? Fascinating. If there's one thing I love, it's other people causing trouble. Which, Nami is just like, that's very tacky. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't tell anybody about this. So Mr. Ya asks, like, do you know what kind of man Loki is? If the worst should happen because of this, what's your plan? And Luffy's like, I'll beat him up and put the chains back on him. And he explains that, like, years ago, red-haired Shanks captured Loki, but prior to that, no one's been able to stop him. No one's been able to stop him. And as he's talking, as he's continuing to talk, Luffy and Zoro just walk away. They literally say he's going to be yapping for a while. I think he's going to be yapping for a while.
Zoro's like, you're wasting our time.
Zoro's dumb smile, just like, yeah, that's true.
Like the pun.
Yeah, he's like, true. Let's get out of here. And Nami's like telling him, he's like, we should listen. He's giving us a warning. And in that moment, Mr. Ya seems to get a pretty vivid memory of a visage that looks crazily like Gold Roger, saying that, like, I'm sick of all your warnings. Are you afraid? And the figure that looks like Scopper Gaban says, if you want to stop me, you have to do it by... Well, Roger's like, if you want to stop me, you have to do it by force. And Scopper's just yelling at him to remember the risks. And yeah, so he has a little memory.
Idiot Roger.
Yeah, he has a little memory. You know, Luffy reminds him of Roger. And we cut over to Oimo and Usopp just talking about stuff. And he's telling a story about Mr. Ya. About in the old Pirate King's crew, there were two others who were especially strong. One of them was Rayleigh, of course. And the other was someone else. They tell the story of a man who, when Roger needed to go rest and heal at a hospital, they had to go to the mountains where the hospital was located. Unfortunately, they got surrounded by a bunch of enemies, but the fellow went out and took out hundreds of enemies with just his 2 axes. And Usopp is just shocked. He's like, 2 by himself with 2 axes? But they explain there's more. In the place he fought, there was only the bald mountainside left, not a single tree standing. So not only did he defeat everyone, he seems to, with his mighty slashes, cut down all the trees in the mountains. And because of that, he gained the epithet of the Mountain Eater.
That's fire.
Even Jinbei is like, well, it's a well-known story. And they explain that after the first mate Silver's Rayleigh, this man was known as the Pirate King's left arm. And I wonder why they would tell that story. This guy's clearly Shiki.
Fuck you.
I don't know. I feel this feels kind of irrelevant to me, but anyway, the Giants they make their way through the castle, and Mr. Ya explains that that they're making their way down to the treasure room. Nami's attitude suddenly changes. She's like, "Yay, treasure!" And they arrive at the treasure room, where at the center of it is this stone pillar thing holding the key up, perfectly upright. And Mr. Ya jumps over to it, and he's like, "Here's something no burglar would care to take." And Luffy's like, "Yes, the key." And at that moment, Mr. Ya starts like removing like the outer, his cloak and his hat. And he explains that, in other words, releasing Loki is something even the wicked dare not do. So will you still take this key? And as they're saying that, the Giants say that he is here. He's been living in Elbaf for 20 years. The legendary figure who stood shoulder to shoulder with Roger and Rayleigh, the left arm of the Pirate King, Scopper Gaban.
Go fuck yourself, San Diego.
Chills.
Yeah, pretty sick. And we get a cool panel of Scopper holding the key and just like looking
like a
pretty
big
sick.
ass keyblade.
Yeah, for real. I was like, oh, he is the one who will open the door.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is One Piece chapter 1139. Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
Well, I have a lot of thoughts about the chapter and about our current Wrong Burgundy situation. I don't know exactly how you want to go about this. I don't want to steal your thunder if you have a little something planned, Chris. But
Not particularly.
I would like to ask Brian at least one question. Not really? Okay.
Who's Brian?
Well, I'm not going to rub it in because I have a Wrong Burgundy. So the first question is, at what point did you feel like you knew for sure? No, that's wrong. That's not the question I want to ask. The question I want to ask
wrong.
is, when did the seed of doubt start to begin? When did you start getting really nervous, Mr. Burgundy?
Let's see. When I saw the axe, that's
you
when I
don't
knew I
remember?
was fucked. Huh? What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Oh, I know what you're talking about now.
Like, when did you start? Like, I don't know. Like when you was reading this chapter, at what point did you start feeling like, this doesn't look good?
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
did
when I
you,
saw
or was
the
it
axe.
till the very end? The axe.
So
does
when I
he
saw the
have an
axe-
It's-
when he threw it at them?
Literally the 4th page or the 5th page.
And when the reveal came out and he was like Mr. Ya, I was just like, okay, wait, he didn't reveal himself as Scopper yet.
Wrong Burgundy. Wrong
Maybe-
Burgundy thought he had another week.
He looked like he could have been cheeky.
He deadass thought he was gonna have another week. He's like, they're not gonna say his name until next week, probably.
Yeah, I was like, okay, he's decided to go by Mr. Ya for now. I'm chilling. I don't have to deal with this for this week. And then I got to the last page. I was just like, fuck.
I'll tell you what. I was also like, fuck. Brian probably got away with it for a week or maybe more. They're probably gonna make it a big dramatic reveal later down the line.
I was like, shit, man.
And then you
I really had to fucking say his name.
They started talking more and more about him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasted opportunity, honestly.
All right.
They should have waited.
I'm gonna tell you, for me, when I knew, so Chris had said we have a bet for this week, right, or something like that in the chat,
Yeah.
and I didn't think that Chris won. I swear that I did not think that Chris won when he said that. I just was like thinking maybe he's even bringing it up to make sure, like, damn, like I lost, right? Like it could have been, for me, it went either way. But that's when I thought to read the comic. So I read that shit instantly as soon as he sent that message. And for me, when they got to the flashback, when he looked at Luffy and he had his like little flashback about Roger, I knew it. I don't remember anything about Scapa Gabon, not a fucking thing. I don't remember the axes. I didn't even remember his name a month ago. You know what I'm saying? When we started talking about who this might be in Elbaf. But I knew for a fact that, like, based on recent information, that's the nigga that was with Rayleigh and Roger. So I knew it. I was like, yeah, it's over. It's a matter of if they're gonna name him. And then they started talking about all his feats, and they said the left arm of the Pirate King. I was like, yeah, we getting a Ron Burgundy this week. What a chapter, though. What a chapter. This, I'm not super hyped for Scapa Gabon like Chris. I could never ever reach those heights of excitement.
Yeah.
Even putting the Wrong Burgundy aside. I mean, I'm gonna get there soon. I'm doing my reread of the One Piece series, and I'm reading arcs that I completely dismissed from my mind, like the Whiskey Peak arc, which I actually thought was Drum Island.
Yeah. What can I mention something?
Whiskey Peak. Anyway, I digress.
Can I mention something?
Roto's grown on me. What?
You've already met Scopper and Rayleigh at this point.
No, I didn't.
Both
You did.
characters have already appeared at this point that you're reading. They probably weren't named at the time, but there's definitely a young Scopper and a young Rayleigh.
Oh god, the news is killing him.
Yeah, it's too much to take.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, you've seen them. You've seen them both.
So it was in a flashback?
Yeah.
It was in a flashback?
Yeah. You'll have already seen them. And now, you know what? I'll send you the exact panel.
Damn, you had this shit
And you knew that when you
pre-planned?
was reading it too, right?
Because it happens super early. It happens in the East Blue Saga. You probably see them both then.
Whatever, man. I mean,
Probably in the Shanks
what am I supposed to
flashback.
say? I suck. I don't pay attention at all.
No,
I don't know.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying as a fun.
You got it, bro. You knew? Did you know? All right. I do have a genuine question.
Yeah.
All right, I'm mostly joking.
I'm not trying to be a
But I do have one question. Nah, listen. Me and Brian for sure know, and anyone who's listened to like at least 2 or 3 episodes of a One Piece, coverage on this podcast, knows that Chris is the One Piece GOAT. He doesn't need a YouTube lore channel. He can spit at any point. All right, I know that.
Top.
That's facts. And it's so real. It's so real because Chris remembers everything because I've been quizzing him. I got more. I got plenty for
You
this
got me
Alabasta
once.
series.
You actually got
And
me
they're
once.
always gonna, my thing is that it'll always be fair.
Yeah, no,
that
you
was
got
a
me
bonus.
once.
All right. I caught Chris. All right, Brian. Do you remember the pirates that were in Django's dance party side story? The pirates
No,
that attacked
I don't.
full body.
No, I don't.
All right. Does this look familiar?
No. What is that? What is
Tulip Pirates?
Tulip Pirates?
Yeah, this is the Tulip Pirates.
The Tulip Pirates.
I don't know about the Tulip Pirates.
Bro, they fought Full Body and Django. It was a big fucking deal, man.
Did Christian know about it?
Island,
No,
I
I
think,
forgot
or
it.
something like that.
That's where he got me. He got me with the Tulip Pirates.
Damn.
He didn't know the Tulip Pirates. He didn't know the name of the pirates.
That was my.
And I told him that's a bonus because it's in a side chapter, and it's super niche. So, but for when it counts, it's always a fair question. Most of them are names of characters, because that's Chris's bread and butter. So I really want to get him on that. It means a lot to me, and I really hope, Chris, that you're not looking up character
I'm not.
dictionaries of
No.
One Piece, like One Piece wiki,
I
just to
don't. I
refresh
swear to God.
yourself. I can only hope that it's just.
I
No,
tried to-
I could tell you that he wouldn't do it because
times you've read and watched it.
I could tell you for sure that he wouldn't, because I have spent years in car rides just randomly, like, walking through the halls. Christian will come up to me and he would give me One Piece trivia. He would just test me out of nowhere. He would just be like, how many tattoos does Nami have? Like, and then I'll be like, I don't know. And he'd be like, she has 7.
Yo,
She has
Chris
one.
got me. Chris got me the other day, man.
She
and
has
I was so
one.
ashamed.
I reverse quiz Josh. Josh hit me with a
Chris got
question.
me on Choo Choo, bro.
Josh tried to get me with Shushu.
Oh, it was way worse.
Josh tried to get me on Shushu, and then I was like, "Do you know who Shushu is?" No. You know what? No, he asked me a question, and then he asked me to quiz him, and I picked like what I thought would be the easiest possible, like middle easy question, because he just read it. I was like, "Who's?" Like, who's the dog from Orangetown?
It's really bad because I asked him that same question not that long ago.
You asked me that question
That's
like
what
a
makes
week
it real.
ago.
Like, I'd love to make as much excuses. All right, can I redeem myself? Why don't you ask me another question?
Hey, but no,
On the
I'm not
spot
trying to
right
quiz you. I was just, it was like a little fun fact.
No, I want to get quizzes too, man, because I'll be updating you guys where I'm at in the story. I don't know how y'all feel about that. Have y'all been enjoying the side show
Yeah, it's always fun to do that
to bring back
because,
memories?
like, I did it with what's it called, Undead Unluck. So it's just a fun thing to do.
Sendokan.
Yeah, like post your progress. Yeah, I've been doing One Piece with my here. Not
The
oh my
highlight
god, what the
moments.
fuck? Hajime no Ippo too.
Yeah, negative.
Yeah. Anyway, we should get. What are your thoughts on the chapter, Josh?
Yeah, that was quite the tangent.
Right?
Yeah, I was like saying a few things. I mean, at the end of the day, Luffy's that guy. Scappa Gaban sees Gold Roger in him. He has the will of D. They did mention that pretty like at Whiskey, at Drum Island, Kohira said the will of D. She knows things and she's mad old.
She is mad old.
She knows Gold Roger, man. She knows that nigga, man.
She does know
knows
him.
She knows him. She knows him personally.
I think she knows him personally.
They hung out. They hung out a lot. They probably sailed the seas together too
No,
for a little
that
while.
wasn't the case.
No, you're not willing to jump out the window with that.
No, Correja
No?
was never
You're
a
not gonna go
pirate.
on a limb? Oh. Okay. No,
You willing to bet?
you don't think she was just saying that?
I'm willing to bet it's wrong Burgundy
No,
bet.
no. But yeah, I bet you are. I bet you are willing to, huh? Yeah, I just read it too. I remember what she said, but it could have just been things she was saying to Chopper. I'm not willing to put my nuts on the line for that. I'll be honest.
She did not
But
travel the seas.
I
She
think
was-
that if that it came out later on that she actually did sail the seas with him for a little while and rejected the idea of being a pirate the entire time, I wouldn't be proud. I don't think you guys would either.
Yeah, I mean, I would take it. I would take I will become wrong Burgundy if that happens, because I'm swearing up and down that she did not sail with him. But if it's revealed that she did,
Not wrong, Burgundy, man.
No.
Would you sign for that? Like,
I would.
you
sign
could
for
believe that's a possibility.
that. No,
If they did reveal that, you'd be like, yeah, all right.
I'd be fine with that. I'd be
You'd
like,
be cool with
whatever, I
that?
guess. I'd only be disappointed in the fact that it would make me wrong Burgundy, but it's got to be a first time. I'm 2-0 in wrong Burgundy
We love
battles.
it. Okay. I don't have too many other thoughts.
All right, wrong Burgundy. What are your thoughts?
I'm in a glass case of emotion.
It was I think it was a pretty sick.
I would
chapter.
only ever face off in a wrong Burgundy with Chris if I really had in the bag.
If you what?
Yeah, we're having some audio difficulties. But I was saying I would only go up against Chris with wrong Burgundy if I absolutely had it in the bag and Chris was like on drugs.
Well, you could get me on other series, One Piece may be untenable, but
The thing is, you'll never catch
Like
Chris sneaking a
mushrooms.
wrong Burgundy bet on something that he would lose to. You know what I mean? I feel like he just knows.
I'm smart with my wrong Burgundy bets.
He knows where to place them.
I make low stakes, wrong Burgundy bets. Nothing more than I can afford.
He's a responsible wrong
I'm a
Burgundy.
responsible wrong Burgundy gambler. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you. I partake sometimes, but I don't go crazy. You guys are addicted.
Well, all right. You can't loop Josh into this.
No,
Josh has only had one Burgundy bet.
no, but you were raring to
I
go.
appreciate that, Brian.
Wrong Burgundy was raring to go. He couldn't wait.
Josh was trying. It was actively. He was the guy who was just like, "Bro, don't take more money out of your account. You don't gotta keep. You don't gotta do this. You don't gotta do this." And I just went ahead and I did it. I bet it all on fucking black. And I was wrong. I was wrong. Anyway, this is a pretty sick chapter.
I was the unbiased guy for once.
You're right. Look at you.
Pretty sick chapter. It was a cool ass story. I love it whenever One Piece characters drop lore about shit, about people, because it makes these guys seem like fucking demigods. Like the fact that Gabon scrapped 1v fucking 100 and cleared an entire mountain.
Hundreds. There were hundreds.
1v100s. It was honestly fucking that was so fucking sick. And Mountain Eater is a pretty fire fucking nickname. I'm not gonna lie.
The Pirate King,
you got the Dark King, you got the Pirate King, and then you got the fucking Mountain Eater. Like, come on. Did this happen in Elbaf?
The Mountaineer.
No, they didn't. I guess they didn't specify. I don't think it would have happened in Elbaf, but because otherwise they would have specified that it happened in Elbaf. But they said it's some mountain somewhere.
So, also a story about Roger being sick.
Hmm?
interesting development there. But yeah, those are my thoughts. Chris, what are your thoughts?
This. Oh boy. Sorry. I gotta let the producing to you. I gotta let go.
Be right back.
I want Brian to hear this because I think it's an interesting thought. But I really like this chapter. This is a short chapter, by the way. This is like 13 pages actually. So it's like 4 pages less than the average chapter.
Yeah,
of Jump.
I noticed.
So, and it's no coincidence that he's off next week. So maybe he's taking a little break, which whatever keeps the series going, man. Whatever keeps it going. But yeah, this was cool. It was cool seeing Mr. Ya himself. I like his design. I always like Scopper's design for some reason. Like whenever he shows up, we don't hear much from him. That's the thing. We see him a lot, and he's always like right next to Roger, along with him and Rayleigh. But we barely ever get to hear him talk. He really has only spoken one line of canonical dialogue, if I remember. In way back in the Odin flashback, like it was the only time we really heard him speak. So Scopper, we don't know anything about him really. All I know, I believe he was the navigator of the crew, but I could be wrong about that. I'm not gonna do a wrong Burgundy bet about it, but I'm pretty sure Scopper was the navigator. So I like to. There's a couple of things that I really enjoyed about this is the parallels between him and Sanji. Like Rayleigh has a lot of Zoro-esque qualities to him.
Really?
Yeah. Like even Zoro now has like kind of a little bit slick back hair and a scar across his eye, kind of in a similar way that Rayleigh does. Scopper being kind of like this lover boy guy, free love dude. There's also I thought of something else just now that I am now trying to like keep in mind.
Him being
he's obviously
the or whatever.
Yeah, he's the third in command.
Zoro and Sanji are the 1 and 2.
Yeah, and this is the number 2. He has similar kind of lover boy attitude as him. I had something in mind. I don't know why I lost it. Fuck. But the parallel I thought is during this flashback, with that little mini flashback where they were arguing and when they were talking, when Oimo was telling the story about taking Roger to a hospital. It's almost an inverse thing to Drub Island, in a sense, where Luffy took Sanji and Nami to a hospital. And Sanji didn't necessarily have to go, but it was for Nami. But Sanji went with him to a hospital or to a doctor.
Yeah.
Essentially. So,
but he ain't clear out them fucking big ass rabbits.
Yeah, it's not a one-to-one parallel.
I don't remember the name of
the Lapins. You quizzed me on that as well.
Lapins.
But yeah, Scopper.
I am ashamed.
It's not a one-to-one. It's not a one-to-one analogy, and I'm probably looking into it a little much. But I like to think that that was a little bit on purpose. The idea of accompanying their captain to a hospital or to a doctor, his attitude there with the ladies. Very excited.
Yeah, but if he's the navigator, then, well, no, people can play different roles and be in different positions. Mm-hmm. Based on the cruise.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to mirror it exactly.
Yeah. Sanji is a cook.
What matters is that the 3 strongest people went on that.
Oh, sorry. I don't know if I'm like lagging or.
Yeah, it is. We're off time in a little bit, but we have to get through it.
Yeah. But yeah, you go. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off your thought.
I had a very strong feeling it wasn't going to be cheeky. No, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I forgot what I was gonna say for sure. But I'll say this: I knew that it wasn't going to be cheeky. I knew it. I knew, and not even for like real story reasons, but because like when you make a movie that's not canon with characters, the whole point is that it's because they won't interfere in the story. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And him using Shiki was a pretty big deal, but like again, like he has never. I don't think any anime movie has ever I don't think any anime movie ever got invalidated by its own like source, like material. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? I can't think of anything.
Yeah.
Maybe if somebody could leave that in the comments, that'd be interesting to talk about. Do some research on that. Actually, I'll write that down.
Yeah, I don't think necessarily Shiki showing up here would invalidate it, but it would be very confusing as to why he would be here and all that stuff. So, even like removed from all the Strong World events.
Well, if he doesn't say have, remember when we fought?
Well,
Yeah, like.
Well, in theory, you could have Shiki appear here without the events of Strong World being canon necessarily. Because Shiki exists within the world, and in the manga world, or the canonical manga anime world, Shiki could exist on Elbaf. And after after the big pirate war or whatever, scattered the Rocks pirates, Shiki could have just ended up on Elbaf. In this
narratively it would have made plenty of sense if we disregard Strong World.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it wouldn't shatter it necessarily so much because Shiki is canon.
You quote like what I said.
I did, but yeah, I'm saying that like it wouldn't shatter the narrative necessarily because of the events of Strong World, but because Shiki is canon to the manga. But we're saying the same thing. Excuse me. I didn't press the mute button. But yeah, this is a great chapter. Honestly, this is my RGC. Needless to say, whoa. Brian, you're back. Did you catch anything I had to say?
Oh.
Whoa.
No, I didn't.
Oh. Well, I just wanted to just to reiterate, I had a point about the Sanji and Scopper parallels that were going.
Mm-hmm.
Not only is he like a ladies' man, but he also accompanied Rayleigh to a doctor. Just like
accompanied Rayleigh or Luffy?
Oh, Luffy. He accompanied Roger to a doctor, just like Sanji did with Luffy.
True. That is true.
I could be looking a little into deep. But I'm just
they definitely have some like clear.
I think that was a cool observation.
Yeah, it's like clear paintings that they're both the wings of Luffy for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, this was a really short chapter. Really just showing off Scopper. And I hope Gaban does not die here in this arc. Because I
wonder how he's gonna fare against Luffy.
He's probably gonna be super strong. He's probably gonna be unbeatable.
Luffy is pretty fucking strong right now. I'm genuinely curious to see how this is gonna go.
Yeah.
Because even Rayleigh was sweating against Blackbeard. You know what I mean? So
yeah. No, I mean it's possible that like he's not as strong as Luffy is right now. But he's still gonna look cool. They're gonna show him out. I mean, it's Scopper Gaban, baby.
Yeah, I wonder what his expertise is. If he's like a hockey specialist or if he's just built different.
A hockey man? You mean a fighter who relies on hockey?
Don't step on the drop, Brian.
Rayleigh struggled against Blackbeard?
No, but he kind of like...
He said that he wouldn't be able to beat him at this stage. He scared Blackbeard away, like just by pure aura, I guess. But he was like, yeah, it's a good thing he was scared away because at the end of the day, I probably wouldn't have been able to beat him.
Wow.
Yeah. That's all I gotta say about One Piece. I don't want to linger too much.